Call the meeting to order. We have resolution number 26-24. Be it resolved that the meeting be convened at 7 PM with Mayor Ray Muirhead in the chair. Moved by.
Mike.
Seconded by.
Yep.
Johnny. All those in favor? Carried. We'll do a quick roll call. Muirhead present, Callan present, Anderson present, Sudak present, Youth Councillor Downey present. All present and accounted for. We have the adoption of the agenda. Resolution number 27-24, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of February 9th, 2024.
13th.
What's that?
13th.
Right, tomorrow is Valentine's, don't forget. February 13th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. Moved by.
Bill.
Seconded by.
Yep.
Johnny, any additions or deletions? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have adoption of minutes. We have a resolution number 28-24. Be it resolved that the minutes for the regular meeting of January 9th and the joint committee meeting of January 22nd be adopted as circulated. Moved by.
Mike.
Seconded by.
Bill.
Bill, any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have a couple of delegations tonight. And we'll begin with Base Commander Kronk, and I'm sorry, me and names.
Adam Harris, Emilio Harris.
Harris, okay.
Harris.
Okay.
Welcome to Town of Carberry and to council. Usually as a formality, we've already done this, but we'll go around the table, just give introductions. I'm Ray Muirhead, Mayor of the Town of Carberry.
Mike Sudak, Councilor.
Grady Stevenson, CAO.
Ethan Downey, Youth Counselor.
John Anderson, been councilor forever here. Bill Calhoun, Deputy Mayor.
Joe McNeely, Reporter.
Welcome,
Thank you for,
floor is yours.
yeah, first off, just thanks for, allowing us an opportunity to come and sit in on the council meeting.
Sure.
Yeah, it was great when we sat, a couple months ago, seems like just the
Yeah,
other day, but
Yeah.
Christmas leave and vacation. Yeah, just any opportunity to, work on the relationship between, CFP Shallow and the town of Carver. And I know, Master Warrant Officer Harris is a resident, so we have lots of folks from the base who, either live here and call home or retire to county and call Carberry home. It's a great little theater community, just at the base. Yeah, anything we can do to strengthen those relations or find some mutual benefit or interaction, I'm all for.
well, just to recap, and I've already told council this, that we met, like you say, a couple of months or more ago now.
Yeah.
And you had basically said the same thing, and we welcome any participation from you. And we're glad to see residents that are living in Carberry from the military. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. And yeah, if there's anything we can do for you, and also you had mentioned at the time, if there's any participation in the future, such as our upcoming homecoming, to put maybe kind of a display.
Yeah, for sure, so.
Or, and we also, just before I forget, because my mind,
Yeah,
we were very appreciative at the turnout at the last Remembrance Day.
okay.
Very good. I think we touched on that,
Yeah,
and we welcome that again. So it was a full house, and it is noted,
yeah.
so.
I think in the summer timeframe, CP Shaw is planning on having, a bit of an open house, a bit of a town hall. Two kind of venue audiences for that. One audience is the new members of the military who are posted in,
Right.
and transferred into CP Shaw, and also for the communities at large. So we'd love if, once that plan starts getting developed and we figure out how that's gonna work, if the town of Carberry wants to have representation at the open house,
Sure.
a stand or whatnot, it can just be, a venue to speak all the great things about the town of Carberry and maybe
Yeah.
encourage some people to.
Actually, we have our economic development officer. I gave your name and numbers to her.
Okay, perfect.
She kind of helps put on the homecoming and various functions in town. So she would probably contact you at some point. But we do have like a trade show style booth, if that's what you mean.
That's exactly, yeah.
And she got all that side. It looks good. She does a good job of it. So if if there's any way we can put Carberry on the map in Shiloh, we're all over it, so.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
Go ahead, Mike.
Like, yeah, like we always have like a fair, like
Yeah.
every summertime, right?
Okay.
And usually like, some farmers will bring, and some of you have the touch a truck as well
yeah,
too.
okay,
So like the fire department will have a fire truck and the ambulance will bring an ambulance and pull when it's available, right?
yeah,
You know, maybe seeing a lab there or something on
Yeah.
that point, and even the counterparts, I know you being the Air Force or, maybe the South Fork guys too, you know, something like that when we have these, cause, you know, you always see the helicopters flying over and you always hear the bombs and stuff, and it'd be nice to interact with the local communities that way, so if we can stay in
yeah,
touch for those,
I think it's.
that'd be
easy.
great. Same as, you know, even something as simple as our Santa Claus, or our Christmas parade and, our,
Fair parade.
fair parade, sure.
Yeah.
You know, we always have all the vehicles driving and, you know, if that's all right, reach out to you and
Yeah,
see if some, cause even a big green army truck, it doesn't always have to be a lab or something, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
Cab V or whatever, you know, something cool that the kids could see.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Cause they always see you guys, especially the artillery,
yeah,
like walking around with the walkie talkies and the Alpha Jets flying over and stuff, they always think it's pretty cool, so.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I think Bill said he wants to drive a tank.
Sure.
But I know like you guys have the museum out there as well and
Right.
stuff too, right? So,
Like,
yeah,
you know, those are easy to bring up for like a static display at a fair or whatnot, and I think, you know, a military component or a couple of military vehicles for whatever parade you're planning, I think it's the new one, so yeah, definitely reach out.
I know there's always guys on extras that can do it.
Yeah, yeah, I love those kind of.
Carberry is a military town. We have air training. I think we talked about that air
Yeah.
training base out here and
Yeah.
like a lot of families have stuck around for decades now.
Yeah,
We did a memorial for the 75th anniversary of, was it D-Day? Is that what it was? Over at Bay.
No, it was they put up the Wings to
flags?
War Memorial,
Yeah,
and I think they got the Southport guys to fly over. when
Yeah.
They did
Yeah.
that, so it's pretty
BJ,
nice, yeah.
what's that?
it was on BJ.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
definitely, an easy one, and, I think, from what I understand, the Remembrance Day ceremony, the last one's a bit of happenstance, it just kind of came together.
Yeah.
We'd be more than happy if you want to reach out, you know, a few months in advance, and we can maybe formalize with,
Yeah, absolutely.
planning assistance or whatnot, and maybe a formed body to be present.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We can make that happen. So yeah, anybody else got anything
You
or?
guys do anything in regards to careers, like to convince young people to go into the army to take up a particular occupation, like military college?
Yeah, yeah, so,
For
you know, venues like the open house and whatnot, those would be, where we might have a recruiting aspect. I don't have a recruiting mandate per se on the base, but every time we get out there and we do something, it's a bit of a recruiting activity, so, any opportunity we have to engage with communities, talk to people,
Right.
those are recruiting activities.
Well, we even just did a career day for the school too, so maybe next time we'll make sure to reach out to D&D
Yeah,
about that as well too, right?
Absolutely, there's the reserve recruiters out of Brandon as well, they
Yeah.
love an
Yeah,
opportunity,
yeah,
if we get the invitation, I pass it along, I'm pretty confident they wanna come out for that, so.
yeah.
I guess- I guess one last question, what would your soldiers, is there things that your soldiers look for when they move to a small town, or is there things they're coming back to, like, when they move here, like, what can we do for them? Is there things that we can do
Yeah.
for them? Cause we
Yeah.
ask a lot from you guys, but what
Exactly.
can we do for you
Coming
guys?
from Ontario and then to back here, like it's been really great, like just as a Carberry resident, it's a really great community, I would say just. I hate to say socializing it, but getting it out there because I only found Carberry because I was looking at houses and we were locked down with COVID and I was able just to. Talk to a friend in battalion, he said, hey, why don't you look at Carberry, you get a lot more for your money, so. Just to get the word out there, because most people don't really know Manitoba, right, or even Westman at all, so.
So it's something maybe in the shallow stag about upcoming events in Carberry be a good thing, maybe to pass along?
Absolutely,
Okay,
just so we can start kind of.
maybe work with the shallow stag a bit and.
That's a good idea, you know, in the March, April timeframe, maybe talk to, we can put you in touch with our new editor, KJ Miller. And, you know, we can put yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of interplay with it there, we can get a couple articles about the Carberry, Shadow Connection.
Yeah,
Cause
Sure.
when folks find out they're going to, I know I did, when they were posted to Shadow, they'll go on the Shadow Stag website. And they'll look about what's in the area,
right,
so if we can, connect you with our editor.
Yeah.
Of our local paper and maybe get a couple Carberry articles on there.
absolutely.
We always put up a local, the EDO always puts up what's coming up and then maybe what jobs are available even in the area as well too.
Yeah,
I think, what was it, once a week?
do you have a council public affairs representative or?
Well, our EDO, well, and our CAO, yeah,
Okay,
and then I think I told you, but we have a Facebook page if that's, you
Yeah.
know,
yeah. If I can swap contact info, I'll give you the contact
Yeah.
info for the editor of our stag and,
I know I've still got your card at home.
yeah,
I can't remember if I brought one down to Karen, have you got one?
yeah.
Cause I know usually we see the Shallow Stag in lots of places other than just Shallow, so.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah, for
In the
sure.
Legion here and all over the place, so
Take one, pass it around.
Sure.
And then we'll,
thank you very much.
I'll grab it.
All our cards are up front there too, so,
Yeah, our cards are up.
or online.
Got one, John?
Thank you.
So I can go somewhere and just flash the card. say,
That's
yeah,
right.
big commander
and you'll probably get charged a surtax.
here.
He told me I could drive 40 in the 30 zone.
Yeah,
Well, then you have to probably deal with
And B,
the MPs or the Cornwall sheriff.
oh yeah,
All right.
we also talk about, having an upcoming mental health
Yes,
seminar again, in case you want to have somebody involved with that. It's been
Yeah.
kind of a thing in our community in recent years, so we did one last year and it went over quite successfully, so I think we're doing another one here soon. So what it was last year in our hall, they had kind of a mini mall in the hall, if you will, a bunch of different displays in the hall, you know, suicide prevention, mental health, you know, Bell Mental Health Week, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you guys wanted to be involved in that, I'm sure we would welcome you with open arms.
perfect.
and just one last thing too, sir, is like, not just soldiers are here, but people that work for the base as well, like
Yeah.
diesel mechanics, firefighters, all fellows live here too as well too, so it's not just like, enlisted contract signed soldiers, and civilian employed as well
Yeah.
too, so it's a pretty big community you have like here as well.
there for 40 years.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tons of folks. I had no idea the owner of Callahan's, our kids are friends, but I had no idea.
Ian,
he was
yeah.
ex-military as
I put him
well.
through his
Yeah.
infantry training, yeah, yeah,
But,
he was a door gunner overseas, yeah. Yeah, so, you wouldn't think, you still think we're 20, but we're not anymore.
No, you're not.
No, I got gray hair now.
Well, anybody else got anything?
Well,
You got anything, John? or no? That's it, I guess. Thank you very much.
I would like, Mr. Harris's card.
I don't have a card,
Oh, okay.
but so I give you my
Give me
contact.
your real name and, without.
Adam Harris, like, I just want Adam, yeah,
And rank,
Master Warrant Officer, MWO.
great. Helps.
Very good.
great, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
for
much for
coming
coming
out.
out.
Thank you very much.
Easy. Come again. Welcome anytime.
We'll let you know when the fair is on.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Yeah. They have a great beer garden and music.
Remember,
Horse
Bill's
races.
tank.
Yeah, it's a great option. Recruiting opportunity, like,
I know a card, understand.
And see what I mean, sir, come on, you're a strat. You can get it one.
I
flat bed out here.
think we have a couple tanks on.
We do have a couple tanks and we can move pretty easily over, so.
Great. Again,
All right,
thanks
thank
a
you
lot.
very much.
Thank
Good
you
to
very
meet you.
much. That's interesting.
Mhm. Be nice to see some participation.
Yeah.
We should have signed, Ethan up for the army.
I have friends who were in cadets, but not for me.
No?
My granddaughters and cadets, but in the air cadets. No, John, not done yet. Yeah, it takes a bit of time.
Our next delegation ready?
Okay.
Hello,
Hello.
welcome, come on in, hi. Hi,
Where would you like us to sit?
anywhere you want,
Grab a chair.
grab a chair.
Right back up.
You wanna, yeah, I wanna shoot.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Wow, quite a delegation, welcome to Carberry. Yeah, sure,
I didn't bring my puppy.
well, that
Well,
might be a
we
good
don't
thing.
like-
Not good.
So we will get started. I think we all know mostly each other, but as a formality, we usually go around the table and do introductions, just to introduce ourselves. So I'll start. I'm Ray Muirhead, Mayor of the town of Carberry.
Like Sudak counselor?
Brady Stevenson, CAO.
Rena Booth David, Executive Director of YMCA in Brandon.
Cool. Over there.
Your name?
Sarah.
Ralph Beamish, member of the Resurrection Life Ministry.
Tabitha, I love Rena.
Okay.
Ray Johnson, with Resurrection Life Ministry.
And I'm Leslie Johnson.
Ethan Downey, new counselor.
John Anderson, counselor.
I'm Bill Callen, Constant.
And John McNeely, reporter.
Well, welcome everyone to the town of Carberry Council. And normally we have about, how much time do we have?
Yeah. 15.
Okay.
We usually have about 15 minutes. We try to stick to that, so
Yeah.
that's just a formality. But
Yeah.
anyways, having said that, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Ray. Um, the. This particular, project here. At Carberry City of Destiny, the table of contents, the first was just do an annual youth event. And that annual youth event, we've always been very passionate. We've been in ministry for over 35 years. 30 years now as a federally registered charity across Canada. And we're in many nations. And we've done, our youth group is over, we started the first street church in Abbotsford and Powerhouse for Youth. So we've been dealing with every kind of adversity that you can imagine for looking after youth and other issues. So our passion is to help with the youth. And that's why having a partnership with Youth for Christ and doing an annual youth event as, and on an annual basis here, I contacted Alan Christensen and as far as getting the, the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And we'd like to see 500 to 1,000 youth come in, and with that, Rena, I think you can just speak to what you have for a small bit of the.
What you sort of know of so far.
So just in the Westman area, the impact that this would bring to Carberry. We have people who are willing to help fund some of these events. They've grown up here in the city that have come to find out, and they're willing and excited of what's gonna happen and what could happen. I also know what the city town has been struggling with the youth. I've been involved in conversations about suicide that is going on.
Right.
Being able to speak and equip our youth, encourage them. Both choices is a big part of where my heart is. I have come to Youth for Christ from a corporate background, so I understand the business component to it. But really, we're just here to help. We just want to help our youth be well. Right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, so as Ethan is a junior counselor to the, here in the town council, having a number of youth that are trained, and when I say trained, to speak about making right choices for those people who are in the trenches here
Right.
is a good thing. And that's part of what we want to accomplish. Over the years, like we want to do it every year, but now that we have the facility on Third and Fanning, as far as our community gathering place, what we want to bring in there is
we want to bring in a powerhouse for youth building. So it'll be there for youth on a regular basis and set up for youth to be used and manned. And then the other building, 40 by 30 will be a children's, when I say this, is a daycare children's resource center. Again, for the community. And so that's part of the things we want to go forward. We have a group by the name of Ember Road out of Saskatoon. And they're doing our writing and our fundraising throughout Canada and the United States for the 5 different projects that we want to do here. There are individuals that have already come to me and said, yes, I'd like to invest into the economical part of some of the things that are in this presentation. Now, and when I say as far as economics, to have this thing work properly over the next 3, 5, 10 years, as far as building an economic, social, and spiritual thing, as far as our part to put into the community for long term, is to keep youth here, to keep more industry here, to attract higher professional people to come to the area.
Right.
Especially, let's say, in the hospital area or that type of thing. So if you got educated people coming in as doctors or even lawyers or whatever, they want to raise their kids up into the same kind of professions or other professions. So,
Yeah.
And best way I can explain this is like an airplane. Like you have 2 wings. One wing is going to be a profit structure to bring profit to revenue to bring funds in to pay for the nonprofit. And then you've got the body of the airplane that's going to be people. Now, whoever the people are, hopefully the people of this area are going to be able to prosper by a lot of the other businesses that have come out of it, but other business people are going to be attracted. So the first thing would be like, and however the properties come together, my brother, you can talk to him at any time, is Doug Johnson. He has built pretty much every large thing that's been built in Vancouver, from hospitals to universities to the Shangri-La, which is the 67-story building. Like, so he works with the 5 largest builders in Vancouver. And so there's no project that's too big for him.
Right.
So we have an expertise knowing how to build it. We have an expertise in other areas, how to run it. The first thing that out of the 5 projects, the economic project is that we want to bring it wherever that right place would be here in this community, based on here at town council, based on the I guess the rural municipality as well. What would be best, where to put it, and how to best put it together as far as a processing manufacturing plant. Let's just call it Spirit Sands water for now, or beverage.
Right.
So bottling water in the same way you get bottled water. We have bottled water here. We'll get it. We'll do the studies to make sure all the studies are proper. We need the proper documentation to be able to bring the water out of the aquifer and all that. All that stuff has to come into place, and then find the right place to build this. I gave him the figures to my brother. He figures around 31 million that we're gonna need to bring in to build this. How we're gonna do the heating structure, and we want to do everything by thermal energy.
Right.
Geothermal. When I say there's 4 different projects here, we want them all be green and friendly. Okay, and we see this as a model for other communities that have whatever the population may be, 3,000 to 10,000, that can do the same thing. Now, Dauphin up in Dauphin, they have greenhouses that doing tomatoes and that kind of stuff. So when I say food and beverage, we want to be able to bottle the water, and then we'll also bring out an energized kind of water bottle to go with it, and then flavors and stuff. Okay. And then alongside that, in Abbotsford, there's a freeze dry organized manufacturing where they bring in the vegetables, they freeze dry it, and And it's a wonderful operation of, bringing all these particular food products into a place that's storage that can be distributed Canada, North America, and around the world.
Right.
So because we have the aquifer under here, having the water, to do the water part. I've also looked into the rail systems that can we, where you see the oil, oil, cars and that type of thing, I want water cars, Spirit Sands water cars, Carberry. So any community in Canada or the United States would be able to ship them, tankers of water, when they need good water. Water is going to be the most valuable thing coming up in anything, and we have an aquifer of all kinds of water that we can supply people who need water at a time.
Yeah.
The other thing, along with the manufacturing, and when I say the manufacturing, is greenhouses, hydroponics, that type of thing. One of my clients that out of Calgary and also Abbotsford, they did the hydroponics and as well as the greenhouses. And they set up an economical structure that they can't supply enough to, and they were 747s flying out of Vancouver of fresh vegetables going to China.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get enough to go over there. So there's a market there right now you see potato fields.
Yeah.
One day you're gonna see greenhouses, more greenhouses and potato fields, because once they see the profit that comes out of this on a regular basis through geothermal, it's gonna bring a very strong economic structure. On a smaller piece of land on a renewable basis.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
They're gonna make more money per acre than they will with potatoes, but they'll still grow the potato. It'll work well.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right. So the second part of the structure is, I believe, in education, and I believe in social structure. We want to bring in, and I've already looked into this and the accreditation of it, bringing in okay, now, don't follow your seats, a Bible college.
Right.
Now, when I say a Bible college, like, my mentor was Dr. Robert Thompson. He's the one that started Trinity Western University in Langley. He's also a Trinity Western University out of England. So it starts off as a Bible college. We have our accreditation. We're also gonna set up, we have this in other nations and countries that we've done in Rwanda, Tanzania.
Yeah.
Where we set up trade structures for training around the Bible college, okay, for the training. So the trade, our focus in trade, training for trade will be geothermal. And a person who has recently retired as one of the university professors on geothermal out of BC, right? That is going to help coach this. So in the trades that will be around the let's call it, I'm gonna call it CASSET, CASSET, Christian Academic School and Science of Technology and Theology. Okay, you could call it Carberry Academic CAST, and Castanet. Okay, so around the center of the educational system, there's many universities in the United States that are Christian universities, but they have high technology, their science, their health, or whatever.
Right.
So what this will become here is a hub for certain things in trade. What I see the future, because my brother is building huge things in BC, and it's all going geothermal. And there's a lot of geothermal buildings right now going into Winnipeg and other areas, so we'll be ahead of the curve on this.
Right.
And also getting grants and so on to have it built. My brother also said, when we do this, wherever the land's gonna be, we wanna put the infrastructure in properly, we have the zoning properly, we wanna be able to get the, all the different things in line, so everything moves quickly based on the crews and that kind of thing. So in the center of the third project, okay, we're just gonna call it, we're very strong on the arts.
Mhm.
Okay, we're very strong, when I say arts, music, painting, dance, that kind of, very strong on the arts and what involves even First Nations and so on.
Right.
So we're gonna have a conference center, we're gonna build, it's gonna be between 1,500 and 2,000 people. You say that's very aggressive. Well, there's hardly anything that can handle these type of conventions. Like if you wanted to do, let's say, different conventions coming into this will be a hub for different credited conventions. We're not gonna, because we're a Christian organization, we're not gonna invite the devil.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, it'll be businesses of integrity.
Yeah.
So in that, it'll allow a lot of other different things to be attracted to around that kind of convention. Wouldn't it be awesome that somewhere down the road that we have a doctors convention here, where all the doctors come in for a certain thing and they find, well, this would be a good place to raise a family.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if you look at the structure of the 1,500 to 2,000 seated auditorium, the one at the University of Brandon is pretty close. So it'll be around that, it'll be in the center on a U-shaped structure. And we'd like to build it 3 stories if possible. If there's a variance, I know it's 2, but we'd like to go 3 stories. And then the fourth part of this is having dormitories and having, we're gonna have to build what we think, to start it off, is 120 unit that can handle at least 1 to 2 people, students or otherwise workers,
Yeah.
to start the thing off. Hopefully close to the academic center. Also, it can be a feeder into what we're training the people to do in the academic school. They can do their apprentice by going over there and they can live in the same spot. So whoever we attract, so you've got both wings going and you've got the accommodation and then we just grow. I believe what I see is the number of.
Can I just interject for, you're past your time limit, so I'll just.
Yeah.
Give a
Okay,
quick
so I'm
run.
past my time?
Yeah.
Okay, can I have one last comment?
Yeah.
Philippians 4:13.
Yeah.
It says, we can do all things through Christ Jesus. We can do all things through Christ Jesus. And I had it here. I just wanted to read it out of the Amplified if I may.
Yeah.
Some of you may never read a Bible or whatever, but sometimes, it's just, this is called the Amplified Bible. And I to read it out of here, Philippians 4:13. I have strength for all things in him, or Christ, who empowers me or empowers any of you to make right decisions, to glorify him. So who empowers me, I am ready for anything and equal to anything through him who infuses inner strength into me or into us as a community in Carberry. I am self-sufficient in him because he is my sufficiency. That's who we are at Resurrection Life. And we know the kingdom of heaven is not, everybody understands it, but the kingdom of heaven is on earth. And we're just ambassadors here to help others to understand it. And we want to grow economically, socially, and spiritually together in a community and let everybody prosper. And we're going to be long gone after this is done. So one of the things I'd like to do with the manufacturing part is I want to set it up as a co-op. I want to set it up as that the profits of whatever that is will be run as a co-op. But I've talked to my lawyers, because I want on separate land, I want it as a co-op that will be bringing, this is that we have the aquifer that brings the water up. This will bring income into the town. It'll bring income into the community, and it's gonna be owned by the community,
Yeah, okay.
that part.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. We're around the table. Does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns? Mike, start with you.
No, all great ideas and, as your plan goes forward, just like any ideas or whatever come to town, right? We're open and, try to work your best with, your endeavors and everybody's endeavors to make things better. So.
You have anything, John?
No, it'd just be awesome if it comes to pass, but as I've read, that's a lot of cash that you gotta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
so,
have you talked to federal and provincial government entities? So
we're writing, and just so you know, my
for
brother,
grants and.
grants and so on, but my brother who's doing these type of projects in BC, He says, do you have any connections into First Nations? And I mean, yes, half our board of Canada is First Nations people and some in Ottawa. So we have connections and there's a lot of First Nations money available for this geothermal stuff. That could come in as a huge grant to start that.
Yeah, still in the baby steps, yeah.
So, but we are right. We are
And
right.
just to give you a heads up with that aquifer, there's a lot of other entities involved with, you know, seeing how much water is in there and how it's tabled and how much it's used and how much
Yeah.
farm product goes into it and everything. We get these meetings all the time as well, so it's not just like, you know, it's not just an aquifer full of water that's,
I understand.
you know, there's a lot of other moving parts with it.
Like,
Federally, provincially, locally, municipality, like,
On every
it's
level.
big.
But that's why we have to come here to have as a community
Yeah.
kind of project. Bill, we did talk about this a bit, and I understand the steps we have to go through.
Yeah.
And it's important it's all be done right.
Cause with that one comes agriculture as well, right? So
Absolutely.
if you're taking water out of the ground for bottled water and shipping it somewhere else, and the farmers are saying,
Mhm.
hey, well, we need it for agriculture, and that's what brings money into the community as well, right? There's a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely.
With that
Yeah.
aquifer, so
Yeah.
just to give you a heads up.
you got anything, Bill?
No, I just think it's a very ambitious project overall, the different phases of it. Each
Right.
one of them in its own is very ambitious.
Mhm.
I wish you success, like we're here to listen and see what we can help you with.
If we just get one of them, it'll bring others.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
It is ambitious though.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it is, yeah.
Could I have your name again?
Oh,
I passed by too quick.
Rena, R-E-N-A.
Yeah.
Booth, B-O-O-T-H, hyphen, N-A-V-I-D, David.
Thank you.
Just, well, comment from me, it is an aggressive plan, love to see it come to fruition. A lot of the stuff you're talking about is going to be done out in their own municipality in North Cypress, Langford. This isn't gonna happen overnight.
No,
I'm going to assume that you're, I don't mean to overstep my bounds, I'm going to assume your first goals would be to build the buildings in town here.
Yeah.
So
I never
then
got to
that's,
that.
yeah, so then that's what we can deal with, you know,
Yeah.
zoning bylaws,
right,
variations, conditional use permits, that sort of stuff. As far as the other stuff, it's gonna be a huge task, you know, like when Mike talks about licensing agreements with the aquifer.
Yeah.
Zoning bylaws in the RM are somewhat different when it comes to setbacks, height requirements, all that sort of stuff on agricultural land. Also with livestock waste units, we talked about that. So I mean, you're gonna have to do your homework with that, but that's a rural municipality in North Cypress Land, but I would probably reach out to them or counselor and, you know, make an arrangement to go to one of the meetings. You'll wanna talk to Rachel Andrews right away, our development officer, and I don't have her number with me, but she's actually.
Yeah.
out front. Oh, she's out front, okay. So anyways, you wanna talk to her and she would steer you down the right path when it comes to licensing agreements, zoning bylaws, all that sort of stuff,
Right.
so.
Even if it's something just as simple as, let's say tomorrow you build your university, right, with that many rooms and that many people, our infrastructure is lagoons, right? And so, you know, for us too, we don't have a sewage treatment plant, we have a lagoon, it's only made for so many people and so much growth,
right.
right? So for us, as a town, you know, like we got lift stations, pumping stations and another cell to build and whatever, so with all that, it all comes long-term planning, right? So
Yeah,
it's all one big,
yeah,
as you guys know,
Yeah.
municipality, right? So.
yeah, no, and that's, you know, all good points, because there's, you know, like you're saying, this is not gonna happen overnight. And we may not ever, ourselves, ever see the completion. We may not, depending on.
Oh, don't count yourself out yet.
No.
But, yeah, we still got a few years, but,
But I mean, even Manitoba Conservation, when it comes to environment and that sort of thing, which
Yeah.
Rachel would steer you in the right direction. There's lots of hurdles to cross. I mean, just ask us, like, even looking at building what I would think is a simple lagoon, holy moly.
Or daycare,
how
Yeah,
much is involved?
yeah.
Now, if you need something, give us a call. If you need us to call somebody on your behalf,
Yeah,
we can
Thank
do
you.
that, something like that, or
Thank you.
if you need some answers for stuff, there's lots of us that can.
yeah.
Bounce it around.
Yeah.
Or even long-term planning on growth, in the community and how much the community is gonna grow and what we're project. 25 years in the future when we build infrastructure, right? That could help as well, so.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We also gave your information to our economic development officer, Kara,
Right,
and she's aware of everything. I think you've been in contact with her, so we will continue to update her and work that route too. If she's got any connections or any ideas, that's
yeah.
kind of her.
And we'll keep
forte.
you posted based on the fundraising.
Very good.
Everything comes that way and there are individuals that are interested in investing as well. Keep them posted on that.
Okay, well, if we have no other comments from the evening, Grady, or
That's good.
thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet everybody and
Yes.
come again.
And thank you very much for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, where are we at here? Is Rachel a delegation?
She's just here to talk
Oh.
about the.
Right on the bylaw.
Okay.
The
I can
resolution.
read the resolution though.
Yeah, just mark.
I can let you know, yeah.
Please.
Okay. I'm gonna read resolution number 29-24. Be it resolved that the presentations of delegations be received by council, moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Yep.
Any questions, concerns, comments, straightforward?
No,
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried.
okay, we're ready for Rachel.
We are planning matters, A, Graham bylaw amendment. I'm assuming that's why Rachel's here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remind me, I'm just
In your
pulling the
bylaws.
report so I can follow along after.
Here comes Rachel Andrews. Hello, how are you? Good, have a seat.
Counselor.
I hear you don't remember my phone number off the top of your head, right?
Well, memories is back in to go.
It's probably on my phone somewhere.
It's all good, I gave him a card.
Good.
I'll recheck for sure.
Anyways, I guess you're up, so the floor is yours.
Perfect. So I think, the main item on the agenda for discussion tonight is just giving the zoning bylaw amendment, for the cannabis retail in the manufacturing, first reading. So that's the main issue I've got for discussion.
Yeah.
An issue. Yeah, I sent you a copy of this?
Yeah, I sent it out to them. They have it.
Yep.
Right,
I read it in an article.
perfect.
I put the resolution under the bylaws section, so it's just a little related, but I think that was in this discuss about it.
Yeah, so this is pretty straightforward. We've used all of the same requirements that we've used in other locations, and we've just moved that from the commercial area right into manufacturing, which is what the request was from Mr. Graham and Mr. Holland.
Okay.
Is there any questions on it or concerns?
I think
It's,
it's pretty straightforward.
you bet,
They're going to adhere to all of the,
exact same setbacks and requirements that we would have in the commercial zones, just in manufacturing zone or the industrial zone.
So where is this location? Do we know?
out at Noble,
Yeah,
out there at Noble, where Noble used to be.
Oh, in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
so not a bad location. Honestly, it's got ample parking. It's got a nice facility. It's not like they have to put a new building in. Obviously, if it were to be approved, they've got provincial requirements that would have to be met. They will have to do a bit of due diligence and apply for a proper permitting after the zoning bylaw amendment. So there's multiple stages, but
Oh, yeah.
no, really from a planning standpoint, there's no concern here. So.
Cut and dry.
So do you wanna read the bylaw now while Rachel's here, or?
We can do it after, if you guys don't have any questions for her, then.
I don't think I have any questions. We've talked about this a bit at the planning.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about it again Thursday night.
Thursday during the day.
Thursday.
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
You told me night.
2 o'clock.
Good, no.
2 AM.
You can show up to run it.
Yeah, no, during the day, I'll be there. Okay. Yeah, and I don't, anybody got any questions or comments?
No, we've talked about this a few times already, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, it's still in Florida. and I was ahead for a while there.
So this, any zoning bylaw amendment has to get circulated at the community planning, and it took a long time for it to come back, so.
It's another business, so.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good. I guess if we don't have anything and you don't have anything,
Yeah, they're
That's it.
honestly from, like I said, from our standpoint, it's just another type of business. We never thought to put it into industrial. Because we have cannabis, the industrial aspects of cannabis in the industrial zone, we never thought to put retail in there.
Okay.
So,
What if they decide to set up a plant to grow the stuff there?
that's completely different.
That's completely.
We are simply establishing the cannabis retail with this. So,
Just the order.
and we have the processing of cannabis products. We don't have cannabis, so it's a grow off or micro cultivation. We don't have that in the zone.
You know, we've talked about it before, it's came up in chats, but not anything like that, so
For sure.
until that comes up, then we'll cross that bridge when it comes, I guess.
It would
Okay.
be the same process. It would have to go through multiple stages. And again, we left it as a conditional use. It's going to be into the table in the same spot or just in it. It's under we need to copy back plants in the same area, so just because of the alphabetical order, but it is a conditional use. So this way, if this were to go through, they'd still have to come back, apply for a conditional use order. And well, I don't know if they have a variation order. So again, the last time we did anything with cannabis, we had to vary down that 100-foot setback to residential zone. I don't think there's a concern.
I would benefit in
No.
residential.
Yeah.
No,
So it would just be a conditional use order if this.
Now, I hate to be the, I know you probably already looked, but is there enough footage from
the high.
baseball and stuff, baseball diamonds and everything? That's something that was looked at?
The green space, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really even though we're gonna have large groups of children in that space,
Right.
like, yeah.
That's all, cause
Yeah.
you know already, we're gonna probably get asked that, right?
For sure, yeah.
So,
And again, the province has very strict requirements about covering windows and that sort of thing, so.
So enclosed and you gotta
I mean, they're at the mall and stuff, but I just like,
Yeah.
again, you guys, you know.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
We're a
There'll be
small
the
town,
discussion.
there's gonna be
Yeah.
discussion, right? So I just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
We're all, everything was covered, that's all. I
Yeah,
know
and-
you do that, but if I
Yeah,
say it out loud, then I've asked the question.
Yeah,
for sure, no, and it's one of those things, we look at all the applications prior to even submitting them to the province, and then the province also reviews them to make sure that they don't have any concerns, so.
Awesome, sounds good, Rachel, thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Has anybody got anything for Rachel while she's here or you for us? That's it?
There's only, other than dealing with some ongoing issues in town, we've got some development with 726 Fourth. So there is a demolition permit and he's actually in the works of putting together some triplex plans
Oh,
for that
perfect.
location, so it isn't sold. He's dealing with Works Brothers to do the demolition there, so that should happen in the next couple weeks.
Good.
oh, good.
And then, yeah, we'll hit the ground running and getting those permits rolling for that triplex, so that's positive. All of the audit documents for the planning district are now at the exchange group, so
Good.
just as a
Oh,
heads up,
good.
everything's done and ready. I'm sure they'll have questions and comments and request more information as they always do, but we wanted to be ahead of the game just so that.
I guess without getting into details too, what's it looking like for the spring for building and growth? Is it looking pretty prosperous for
It's
the town or
pretty quiet.
pretty wild?
There's a
Okay,
lot of discussion on lots and setbacks and what they can and can't do and what requirements are.
Okay.
Getting a lot more questions about the Wells subdivision, which is always great.
okay,
But nothing concrete, and we're really not expecting that until middle of March.
okay.
You know, March, generally as soon as we start to see the temperature swing again, that's when we'll see.
Sure, okay.
Gotta get the.
So probably
temperatures
in the
down,
spring, I'll ask you that question.
You
then.
betcha, ask
Because
again and
It'll
hopefully.
be nice to know, cause if there's, like we said, we wanna kinda get rid of the red tape and make it easier.
You bet.
So whatever we can do to make the growth happen,
For sure.
we really like to see, so.
You bet. With that being said, speaking of growth, we do have all that tiny home stuff that's still in the works.
Yep.
There's lots of discussion on it and movement. It's a similar situation to what this happened with this one. It's kind of sitting with community planning right now, and I'm hoping that we can hear back before Thursday, see if there's
Oh,
any.
And since you're here, Rachel, and I'm not on planning, but since I'm here, has there been any similar issues with Main Street, like in that the new businesses have been coming? Like you with planning, is there any of that, like, I guess I'll just say red tape, is there any?
No, honestly,
Okay, okay.
it's, we try to make it as easy as possible, so, other than having little hiccups when we had the zoning bylaw in transition.
Right.
And we had some issues with signage and setbacks and that sort of thing, just because we weren't sure when they were gonna come into fruition. There really hasn't been any issues, we've had some positive discussion with some potential commercial.
Okay.
Oh,
We have a larger commercial that keeps kind of questioning space in town. I don't think we have any
large spaces that they could renovate, other than over on the Anson area, and that's not really where they wanna be. So there's some potential there, see if we can find them a lot and some movement, but
Like I said, if there's anything or whatever that comes up, I mean, we gotta stay on one side and stay in our arcs, but, you know, if there's the similar issues coming up or whatever, just before spring, I'd rather get those knuckled out before.
you know, whatever we can do to help the contractors and the applicants hit the ground running when it's odd, that's always the aim, so.
Cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
thank
pretty
you.
much what we do in the winter, is get
Yeah.
everything buttoned up and ready to go for summer.
Spring's only like 3 months away,
Oh,
hopefully,
goodness.
so
Hopefully.
that's why I'm asking you now, right? Or 3 months
for
away,
sure.
so.
1 month for
You never know, Joe.
officially.
Officially, yeah.
Okay,
And if there is any discussions or rumblings, or anyone has any questions about development and building and that sort of thing, please send them my way right away, so we can, at least that way we get a chance to get all the paperwork out of the way first, and
Vice versa too.
you betcha, yeah,
this is an FYI, Ed Bedford is the new chair of the Cypress Planning District,
you betcha.
effective his last meeting, so
Yeah.
Ray is the co-chair, so.
And we do that every year, we fly
Yeah.
back and forth, north and south, just to try to keep things consistent and
Okay, good, thank you very much.
nice and easy.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
said,
there we
if you
go.
guys have any other questions for planning, let me know.
Good.
And then, yes, 2 o'clock.
Thursday.
2 o'clock Thursday,
Yes.
I knew that.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
In the,
I will say this, one of the things we discussed at the last Cypress Planning District Board meeting, was trying to eliminate as much paper as possible.
Yes.
So, down in Glenboro, we have use of the fire hall, with the TV and all the bells and whistles there. We don't have that at the planning district, I'll be honest. So we are looking at utilizing, municipal spaces between the RM and the town. Use that as TV.
right,
So, there is always the potential for us to request to use that space, especially when we know we've got lots of paperwork that I'm trying to eliminate. We might make that request during the day. With that being said, we are transitioning to a new printer, one of the large fancy
Oh, yeah.
printers. Our printer is now dead at the office, so if you happen to see a request, especially admin side from myself or Bev, desperately trying to get some things printed, that would be why. So we're hopeful that the new printer will be in by Thursday, but they said that a while ago, so. It is officially died. It was kind of limping along and making some awful prints, but we're officially dead in the water. I don't have to spend any more money on technology if I don't have
Yeah.
to, so,
All right,
good.
Good enough.
Thank you.
perfect.
thank you very
Anything
much.
else for me?
Okay,
That's it.
see you on Thursday.
You betcha.
See ya. We'll move on to finance and accounts. We have the ACAO report. I'm sure we have all looked at that. I think I had a question down for that. Yeah, yeah.
Some 8 o'clock, what the hell's a rush?
We're doing good.
We could actually do that first reading.
That's coming.
Yeah, later.
It'll be coming.
Yeah.
It's under this bylaw.
Oh, yeah.
Under number 9, number 9.
On page 2, so not that far away.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Budget meeting. Okay, so we've got a resolution number 30-24. Be it resolved, the council accept the report from ACAO McConnell as presented. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Yeah.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? I have one. The budget meeting for first reading, we're gonna tentatively save that for March 1st.
Be the March council meeting that we would do.
Okay, I thought I read somewhere, I don't know, it was in there March 1st, but maybe I misread that. So we'll say the first council meeting in March.
Yeah, the March council meeting, hopefully we can have our first reading, and our public hearing.
They had March 1st, and I've got something to bring up around the table about potential doctors visits. Anyways, that's all.
And that will be after the election, right? The first council meeting?
Yeah, I think it might be the day after.
Okay,
Let me just check that.
Hit the ground running, eh?
I may not be here for that council.
No,
meeting,
it's the
that's
following week.
Bill?
The 12th is the meeting.
The
Election's
second
on the
week of
6th,
March.
and the 12th is the.
Still might not be here. Just
You got,
one.
hey, I got some sun, you gotta get some sun.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no comments or concerns, I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have approved the financial statement. We have resolution number 31-24, be it resolved that the financial statement for January 2024 be approved as presented. Moved by
Yep.
Johnny, seconded by
Bill,
Bill. Any questions, concerns, or comments? I have a couple of questions, if I may. Health and welfare, medical officer utilities for $798. That would be the utilities for the doctor suite?
Yeah.
Okay. Accounts receivable from NCL. Are we up to date or close to being up to date from them?
That is, I think everything is up to date now, yeah.
Okay.
So for AR, yeah, the AR is as always up to date for us. Like our billing is up to,
I think I read somewhere in Teresa's report
Yeah.
about December 1st.
I
And we're
think,
well into February now. I just was wondering.
I think we're almost there,
yeah,
almost.
Okay.
If I
It wasn't
remember.
like seven grand or 5 grand or something difference.
Caltech land survey. What was that for?
the lift station well subdivision.
Okay. And just a question, our MasterCard payment, I think I've asked this before. Do we have like air miles or any of that kind of stuff on there that we should be tapping into? Not that we'd ever use them, but you know how you can get perks, if you will.
2% back, cash back, or
I don't know on the corporate side what's available that way.
should we
It's a
inquire?
corporate card. but-
Is that something worth looking into? Because the amount we use it and that.
Sure, I can do that, yeah.
I think it'd be worthwhile.
I got 3 corporate cards and they will never offer me any benefits. Cause it's corporate.
That works.
Yeah, it's usually like personal that they do that for.
It
All right.
never hurts to ask.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, hard to look into it.
Yeah, that's all I had. Anybody else have anything?
No,
No? Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We're going to approve payments and direct withdrawals. We have a resolution number 32-24. Be it resolved that the accounts check number 14756 to check number 14838 totaling $139,700.41 and direct withdrawals of $78,914.33 be approved for payment as presented. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Mike,
Comments, concerns, questions?
went over the checks today, everything was in order.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have no public hearings. We have a bylaw to read. Resolution number 33-24, be it resolved that bylaw 01/2024, being a bylaw amendment to zoning bylaw 13/2022, hereby be read a first time. Moved by,
Mike,
seconded by Johnny. Questions, comments, concerns? This is the first reading of 3, so having seen none, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Unfinished business, we have a Stars per capita donation.
I can just talk on this briefly. This is something that came from your January meeting. There was correspondence from Stars looking for per capita donations from municipalities to support the cause.
Mhm.
I've prepared a resolution and left the amount blank, so if you guys want to discuss and if there's an amount you're comfortable with, then we can fill that in before you read the resolution.
Do you want to discuss that now or read the resolution and have it moved and seconded and then fill it in the discussion part of it?
It's up to you guys.
I think maybe we
Let's
just,
put it on the table.
well, let's discuss it first and then.
Well, okay, yeah, go ahead. you go.
What do they want for per capita?
It's
Are they
whatever
talking
you're-
$1, $10, are they talking if we give them $500, we can wrangle it so it works out to per capita, or,
It's kind of,
or it's not a per capita?
That's
grant,
just-
it's a
that's just the
donation?
way they presented it. You could do it in however way you like.
Okay, we just give them a donation.
Correct.
Okay.
So, with this, I guess I'm gonna ask because Stars Ambulance, doctors, paramedics, it's all part of healthcare. So would this be coming out of that money you put aside for?
Well, it depends on if it's a per capita. If it's a per capita, then that's different than a straight donation though, isn't it?
It's just a different way of figuring it, right? You
Yeah.
can do $1 per capita and do $1,818, or you could do $2,000, for example.
But if you do it per capita, is that a one-time thing or does that go forward year after year with
You
the
would-
budget?
It's a one-time thing, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, you'd have to approve it again next year.
So if it's a one-time thing, would we not be better off to do like just a donation, or what do you think?
I'm just saying, if they ask for it every year, and it is stars, we use them lots,
Yeah.
it saved many lives
Yeah.
here in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young lives, young people, old people,
Oh, yeah.
everybody. You know, it is something we need in a rural community.
Agreed.
And I think if we put away money for healthcare, whether it's for nurses, doctors, hospitals, places for the paramedics to sleep, if this is something every year, then maybe we budget it and put it as a per capita every year, and it's put in that, maybe put in that, and it's drawn out of that healthcare or whatever, I forget the exact name, correct me if I'm wrong.
Reserve, yeah.
The reserve or whatever, and then every year we know that, you know, what Stars asks, okay, we have 1,800 people, times this amount, okay, that's your, for the year, no different than, let's say, the golf course or any other things we do budget for them.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna mention the golf course, we give them $1,000 every year.
right, so we just know that every year with our population, if it grows, we just know that every year that money is put aside for Stars, which is really like, when Stars is called, you're in trouble, right? So,
No, I agree with you 100%. It's just, there's a blank space here. We need to put a number in there, so.
but we're looking forward, right, we're planning for the future, right, now at least we're.
With $1, that's
planning.
almost $2,000, that's 18, and maybe next year we'll be over $2,000, so.
There's $1 on the table per capita.
I'd
What say
say,
you?
I'd say start off with $1 this year and budget for it for next year.
So are we basing that on the census population of 1818?
Yep. Whatever number we have for population, so.
I thought you meant the census from 1818,
Yeah.
4 people. $4.
None.
Okay, I'm gonna put that,
Sorry, and
No, go
then
ahead.
you wanna pull that from the healthcare reserve one?
yeah, that sounds.
That's all we do,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, what, like, what, again, I want your
That's the right
opinion
place.
too, Bernie, what do you think on that, it's a budgetary item, and
I think it's a good idea.
I'm
What's
good.
there for?
that's
If we can pull it from the healthcare reserves, then I'm okay.
Do we,
So-
put that in the
Yeah, so,
bylaw?
the resolution, so instead of paid from the grant budget, paid from the healthcare reserve.
From, health care,
And the amount would be $1 in the resolution.
so I'm gonna read this resolution. The blank space will read what? $1 per capita?
$1.
Just $1.
$1, okay. We have resolution number 34-24, be it resolved, the council agree to a per capita donation to Stars Air Ambulance in the amount of $1 with the amount paid from the healthcare reserve fund. Moved by
I'll move that.
Ronnie, seconded by
Mike.
Or Mike.
Mike. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Okay.
Yeah, it's easy, easy
Yep.
peasy.
Easy peasy. We have daycare development.
Yeah, so this is just a quick update on where we're at with daycare development. There's been discussion with North Cypress Langford. They were to be discussing that at their council meeting to talk about the joint land that we have and using a portion of that for second daycare facility, licensed daycare facility. So we're just waiting to hear on that. And there's a committee that's being formed. I think there's a few people interested in it, Kara said, so things are started. Just in case we don't end up with one of the RTMs, which we haven't had any announcement on the program going forward.
Okay.
So we're just planning as if it's not gonna happen. If it does happen, then we're.
So they never made a decision on their.
I didn't hear it yet, so we're just kind of waiting on that, and then there'll be more discussions as far as infrastructure development and having it on the joint property makes things easier from an infrastructure perspective. Hydro's there,
Yeah.
sewer's there, fire protection is there, so everything.
So My memory's drawing a blank. Did we make a resolution on this or we have to on our end?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, we still got time.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Just information.
Yeah, cool. Anybody have any questions on that? No? No?
Keep the ball rolling, that's all.
Let's move forward with the administration days. We have resolution number 35-24, be it resolved, the council authorize the continuation of administration days that are closest to the public, closed to the public on the first Thursday of each month on an ongoing basis until changed by resolution of council. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Yep.
Discussion, straightforward.
Is this working for you guys or not?
It's quite helpful, yeah. Yeah, it is, and we haven't heard anything negative. I don't know if you guys have heard anything negative,
No,
but,
I,
you know, it's nice to have that time to just
Yeah.
focus on what we need to get done.
Yeah. Good. All right, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. So moving on to fire department wages.
I'm gonna have to step out.
Okay. Do we want to shut the door or no?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's common. It's public knowledge.
well, whatever.
All right. We have a resolution number 36-24, be it resolved that the joint committee recommend a base wage of 5% above minimum wage for the Carberry North Cypress Langford Fire Department effective January 1st, 2024. And further be it resolved that the cost be shared 50-50 between the town of Carberry and the municipality of North Cypress Langford. Moved by,
So moved.
seconded by.
Yeah,
I don't think, well, any discussion, questions? Pretty straightforward.
Just keeps a percentage above the minimum wage
Keeps
for
that
the base
proportion,
and then the salary sliding scale above that.
Yeah.
Depending on training and rank.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. And we have fire department cell costs. We have resolution number 37-24, be it resolved that the joint committee recommend a $5 per month cell phone allowance for all members of the Carberry North Cypress Langford Fire Department for the use of personal cell phones and pagers until the end of 2024. And further be it resolved that the cost be shared 50-50 between the town of Carberry and the municipality of North Cypress Langford. Moved by
Bill,
I'll second that.
Ronnie. You have no choice but to second it. Straightforward, questions, comments?
Straightforward, I'll say it's not a lot, but there was some hesitation, so now it's on the books and now we gotta deal with it moving forward. So
Yeah.
it's good to be in there.
Okay,
I'm gonna get Mike back.
okay, all those, well,
Oops, the question.
yeah, question, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried.
Yeah. Mike,
Put the cup down off the door, get in.
Okay. We have the resignation of Craig Dirksen. We have resolution number 38-24, be it resolved that the joint committee accept the resignation of Craig Dirksen, Parks and Recreation Foreman, effective January 19th, 2024, with regrets. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward.
Yep.
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. G, we have the COLA for joint staff. We have resolution number 39-20.
And it's gonna stop,
Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Mike, you probably wanna step over.
Oh,
This,
yeah.
the next three probably.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
be, chilling out.
Okay.
Up here.
Chilling like a villain.
This Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola?
I don't know if we-
Just ask.
Funny, John. Real funny.
We don't get old, I just can't sit in our.
no, she's not a joint employee.
Okay. Just pass.
Okay, we good? Nothing more, Grady?
Sorry?
We're good?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. We have resolution number 39-24, be it resolved that the joint committee recommends setting a cost of living allowance at the November Stats Canada CPI for Manitoba for all joint employees not covered under an agreement. And further be it resolved that the cost be shared 50-50 between the town of Carberry and the municipality of North Cypress Langford, moved by Joni, seconded by Bill.
Yeah.
Questions? That's fairly straightforward. We talked about that.
Yep.
Any other comments, concerns?
Talked it to death.
Okay,
And this resolution will allow us each year, we'll just base it off that, and then we don't have to read.
and that encompasses all joint employees. We're not leaving anybody out, right?
That's the ones that aren't covered under an agreement, so anyone that would be in on the one that we're working on right now for some of the staff,
Yeah.
they would fall under that agreement.
Yeah.
And anybody that's not under that would automatically be covered under this.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. All right, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have H, rescind resolution 238-23. So we have resolution number 40-24. Be it resolved that the council rescind resolution number 238-23, moved by Johnny, seconded by Bill.
And
How is it?
that resolution was the one that we passed in October in relation to Callie's wage.
Oh, yeah, cause we got,
It's changed, so.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Oh, good freezing through there. Okay, Sudak wage, we have resolution number 41-24. Be it resolved that council agree to increase the wage of manager of leisure services Kelly Sudak to $60,000 annually, retroactive to July 30th, 2023. Until 1 month following the start date of a new Parks and Recreation working foreman to recognize the increased workload while short a staff position. And further be it resolved that the cost be shared 50-50 between the town of Carberry and the municipality of North Cypress Langford, moved by. Sure. Seconded by Bill.
Yes.
That's pretty straightforward. I think the RN,
anytime.
yeah, the RN forgot yesterday, but they did the email thing, so it's done. So anyways, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried.
Yes, I'll get Mike back.
Okay. Lighting up a second cigarette. You're it again. Okay, we'll move to general business. We have the MWSA meeting.
So this information was on the joint agenda as well. The weed supervisors meeting, municipal issues meeting is hosted in Carberry every spring. So if anybody wants to attend, they can let me know and we can get anybody registered for
Is
it.
that again?
It's in later March, yeah.
We've got a bit of time to see.
Yeah, okay.
I'll send out the information again to everybody.
Okay.
That should be good by then.
Okay, B, we're gonna add invoice to taxes. We have resolution number 42-24. Be it resolved that the following invoice be added to tax roll number 68500. We have 2023-00213 in the amount of $25, moved by,
Bill.
seconded by,
Mike,
straightforward, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. And we have by-election update.
Yeah, so we have, anyone that needs to vote by sealed envelope is open now. So if you're not available for the advance poll, which is February 25th, or the the by-election date of March 6th, you can apply to vote by sealed envelope. We have 4 candidates running. We have candidate info posted on our social media, and it was also in the Neepawa banner last week on the Friday, so that's out there. And yeah, so February 25th, 8 to 8 at the hall, and March 6th, 8 to 8 at the hall for voting.
Question I was asked today regarding the by-election, and normally this is a Chamber of Commerce thing. Are they gonna put any forum on per se for the candidates?
Westman communications was discussing it, but
We discussed it, but didn't feel we could organize it sensibly. And if the chamber does, we will be happily there, but it's beyond our ability to organize and pull together.
No, I was asked the question, I mean, the town doesn't, it's normally been a chamber thing, and I didn't know what that, I wasn't sure if something was arranged or not, but if they decide to, fine, if not, not much we can do, so.
I'll speak with the chamber and see if
Yeah.
they're interested.
Okay. That's it on by-election, anybody else got any questions on by-election? Okay, we'll move to 2023 year-end reserve transfers. We have resolution number 43-24, be it resolved that council authorizes following 2023 year-end reserve transfers. We're gonna do 35,000 from general operating to the fire safety reserve. We're gonna do 50,000 from the general operating to the equipment reserve. 22,500 from the general operating to the recreation reserve. And 35,000 from utility operating to the utility reserve. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Yep.
Any questions on that? We touched on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. E, we have updated cost estimate for the lagoon. We have a resolution number 44-24, excuse me. Be it resolved that council approve the quote from Tetra Tech to compile an updated cost estimate for the lagoon expansion project in the amount of $5,334. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Yep.
Comments?
All of
Question?
the junk that is necessary.
Cost of doing business for the new lagoons.
So that's just basically bringing us up to speed as to where we're at. As soon as they do that, how much the final should be.
Today's dollars instead of when we applied for the grant in 2019.
Can you maybe pass along, if it's not good news, then we don't want, no news is good news.
Yeah. What do you think? Is it gonna be
It'll go up for
it'll
sure.
be,
a lot?
it'll be,
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm thinking,
25%.
yeah, between 20 and 30 is kind of what I was thinking.
So if it goes up that cost, I know we've got our portion given to us. Can we go back to the well and?
Yeah, that's one of the things that they've said, because it was so long,
Yeah.
that like it took them 3 years to get back to us even on the grant application.
Yeah.
So they have said that if there's if there's large cost increases, that we can go back to them and they'll consider increasing the funding.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Good little fallback there for that one, so.
All right, seeing nothing else, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We had the AMM executive visit. I can't remember, were we all here? Some of us were here.
How was that?
I was here.
Yeah.
There's one thing that came out of there I wanted to ask you, Grady. I read the report and the Manitoba Accessibility Grant for 50,000. Is that something we could use, or should we be tapping into that?
Yeah, it's on my list for this
Okay.
week.
All right, gotcha.
That would be the accessibility, that's just really like. Disability, like. The handicap stuff, like, the ramp that we wanna build maybe, and maybe something if you needed to get up the stairs here or something like that. Like what we got at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on AMM? Nothing? Move on to health action update. I got some stuff for potential doctor visit, but I can wait until around the table for that. I attended the health action committee meeting
So
with
did I.
Bill and Grady was there. I just brought everybody up to speed as to where we're at with doctor recruitment, so that was my job and nothing else to report, I guess.
And thanks for stepping in for me too.
We talked about fundraising also at that meeting. We had a Zoom meeting with that guy from a lottery company.
Yeah.
And we had a shortage of ambulance attendants, EMTs. Not much communication from Prairie Mountain Health. It's like trying to pull teeth.
Yeah.
They don't say much.
Yeah.
And they're shuffling our lab technician around, one of them now.
That's what we were afraid of, right?
Yeah.
And they said it wouldn't happen and it's
One of the-
happening, so.
One of the things they wanna do also is to kind of reconfigure the clinic, I guess, so they're, you seen we got today from the email,
A
so.
little renovation.
Yeah. If you're gonna recruit a doctor or 2 or 3 here, you have to have the space to do it with
Their
the,
office space.
I think it's a great idea and it shouldn't cost very much.
wouldn't think so.
I think the important part for people to know too is that we are working, there's nothing concrete yet, but we are working with the province,
Yeah.
with the government directly.
Yeah,
And there's some hopeful news coming and with doctor visits and some interest in coming to Carberry. So
Yeah.
nothing firm yet, but
Okay.
we're working hard on it.
guaranteed.
Okay, homecoming request. We have, request that was sent out in our package. I'm sure everybody read it. Is that, anybody, any comments?
Carbon copy of last year's letter.
Yeah,
Just closing more of Main Street in the request, having the whole thing closed.
yeah.
Just due to growth and the number of cars that were here last year and they're running short on space. So they wanted to give consideration to having the whole Main Street block from First to Fourth and then a block each way. Or 2 blocks on the west side for Fourth Avenue to the fire hall.
What's everybody's thoughts on that?
We wanted something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's getting bigger,
I mean, we talked to the military, they're gonna put something in. Resurrection Life, aside from what their presentation was tonight, they wanna put something in.
you know, we talked about maybe like, you know, some of those looking into the international thing, right? So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, on top of that, I really like, again. We talk about it every year, thinking of something at the end of Main Street there.
Yeah.
Carol brought up or whatever, like whether it's putting a bit of money in and paving it or do a nice parking lot for venues like this and stuff, you know what I mean? If we wanna bring something into town, we wanna bring people and make it large enough, we're gonna have to think about that stuff, you know?
It's going gangbusters, like it's
Yeah.
really growing, and I think if we want to attract the people, we want this thing to continue, these are the kinds of things we've gotta do, and it's not much to ask for the town of
And
Carberry.
hopefully in the future it fills up the campground, it fills up, you know, these things and stuff.
Now, I'll come at it from, say, a firefighter's point of view, is that extra block, that's not gonna be anything safety wise, that shouldn't make a difference? Or what do you think?
Not a lot.
Okay,
No, as long as we can get,
like you've got will you have access to, say, the marshal in case of an ambulance, you can get to the back lane, like that's kind of where I'm going, cause if you,
If you go upsell, you know.
well, we actually had a medical emergency last year and I zipped over in the pickup.
Yeah.
And it was no people moved right out of the way and there was an easy way to get in, as long as it's not all blocked off, just like any typical street festival, right?
The center of the street's always
Yeah.
open, it'll just be crowd control, and you make enough noise, people will get out of your way.
yeah, no, I think it's a good thing, and I think it's not too much to ask for the town to.
There was a monetary consideration asked too, but that will be part of budget discussions.
Yeah.
So we can consider that as part of our grants to go towards that.
Sounds good. Let's move to mental wellness day. What do you got?
So we're looking at, April 23rd is gonna be our day, working with the school to bring a component there, working with Claudette Christensen and Mr. McCollum as part of that. It's gonna be more, what we're gonna try and do is do a short presentation for the school kids that involves hopefully a demo for 988, which is the new emergency number for mental health. We're hoping to get that out there, so we'd like to do a live demo for them, so try and reduce the apprehension that some might have. As I don't know what's gonna happen if I make that call, or am I gonna be in trouble, or am I gonna be wasting people's time? We wanna try and reduce some of those ideas and stigmas about 988 and actually get it out there, and then utilize smaller breakout groups to work on different pillars of health, mental, emotional, social, physical, and do some smaller group activities where you're doing an activity and having conversation while that's going on to try and you know, make it a little bit easier for people to have discussions. In the evening, we have Chris Beaudry, who was an assistant coach with the Humboldt Broncos, when they had the accident. He wasn't on the bus, but he was on scene not long after. And he's gonna speak on moving on from trauma and grief and his story that way. He's actually been part of 2 bus crashes. When he was a player, their bus got rear-ended when they were stopped on the side of the highway too, so he's been through the ringer that way, so he'll be here, and then we're going to also do a short demo of 988 after the presentation. We're gonna have some groups there. There's a couple things going on in Brandon that week, so we're probably gonna be down on numbers as far as resources go, but that's okay, because we're trying not to overload, right? We don't wanna have, here's 15 phone numbers, try and remember them, put them in your phone, whatever. But 988 is the focus, right? They will direct you to where you need to go. So we'll have that and then do the breakout sessions with the community groups as well, so they have the parents then and the community members have the same information that the kids have had. And that hopefully will spur some conversation about it. There's gonna be, we're discussing a sort of memory wall that we'll have there. We're not gonna have specifics on there, but basically it'll be a table with some pieces of paper, pens, markers. You can write on it. You can take a piece of paper with you when you do your activities, write a note, stick it on there after, right? Kind of have it as you're coming in and out. And then I've got some ideas what we might do with that, memory or tribute wall, let's call it, for people, to kind of, you know, memorize, like, show their memories.
Good to hear something.
Yeah, it's just, well, that's the new, you know, number 988. Almost like, you know, you can see on the side of the fire truck 911, it's supposed to everyone, the emergency call 911. Cool, maybe we use some of that. I'm gonna keep tapping in there for that health budget, maybe we get some signs made almost like the Crime Stoppers.
Yeah.
So we can put them up in some parts of town where the youth or whoever, it doesn't, not just youth, but anybody. And we make a, you know, need help, call 988, always there or something, whatever the slogan is. And maybe we can put
Yeah.
5 or 6 of them up around town and almost like, you know, our Crime Stopper signs, same size or something, and maybe we can, that could be our, part of our.
Yeah, I
contribute
think
to
that's
the-
probably a
to that.
good idea, because we added to that reserve anyway, this budget, so.
But that's, it's mental health, right? It's
Yeah.
all part of health, right?
Yeah,
You know,
I
and, it's a sign, we can put them up and it could remind people, 980, right? If you need help, maybe that one sign, taking that quick look can save someone's life, right? So-
Maybe that might be a good thing to put in the next newsletter too, and then FYI.
So maybe we get 5 or 6 of those made up and we can. On Sean, we'll give them as a, and then let the. Put them up somewhere where they think is best.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. So are you saying this whole thing's gonna be held at the school, or did I?
Everything will be at the school, yeah.
So are you, Ethan, having anything to do with this, or your class, or anything?
I haven't heard anything about it yet. Good. Still in the planning stages, I'll see if we can bring you in on it.
Yeah, keep your ears open if there's anything you need from us, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I mean, if it's for the school too, maybe we can make small ones for the school and a few
Yeah.
for outside and we can donate them to the school. As part of a thing or something.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe it's a little thing to give or something.
Do our part for the community, yeah, I agree.
You put it up on the billboard, that electronic billboard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes, that too, and then maybe. Get some quotes from other around town sign companies and maybe see how much it would be to make small squares and then maybe larger ones for. Put up on the posts or something.
if you're, at school out and about, talk it up to people, and if there's any suggestions, that sort of stuff, you're our ear to the school, so.
You're a link.
Yeah, you're the link, the missing link. Anybody else got anything on that?
sounds like a good idea.
Sounds good, all right, cool. Let's move on to Economic Development Reserve. We have a resolution number 45-24. Be it resolved, the council direct administration to draft a bylaw to establish a reserve for economic development. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Bill,
That's just further to the budget that Kara gave us, just to.
Yeah, it's one of the main points in your strategic plan is economic development, so if we have an opportunity to start putting some money away, should opportunity arise, then we'll have it.
Okay. Any questions? Having none, okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carry, I should have stopped halfway through. Solid waste and recycling contract. We have a resolution number 46-24, be it resolved that council award the request for proposals for solid waste and recycling collection to TAC Ventures for a period of 5 years. And further be it resolved that council authorize the mayor and chief administrative officer to sign the agreement on their behalf. Moved by
Yep.
Johnny, seconded by
Yeah,
Bill.
I do have a comment though.
Yep.
I'm not sure if, multi-material, whatever the MMSM, are they looking at changing the way the recycling is gonna be picked up at some point?
Yeah, there's a clause, we had it in the RFP, there's a clause that it can be
Okay,
redirected if necessary.
that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Anybody else do anything on this? We talked about this the other day, so it's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Hall gas meter upgrade. We have a resolution number 47-24, be it resolved that council accept the quote from Smart Electric to upgrade the gas meter at the community hall to allow for the installation of the emergency backup generator. And further be it resolved that the cost be shared 50-50 between the town of Carberry and municipality of North Cypress Langford. Moved by.
Yep. Yep, seconded.
Okay, Mike, Johnny seconded. Any discussion on this?
I don't think this is gonna be the end of this one yet.
I have requested that this be put on for the joint committee agenda. Yeah, I think we need to talk about this. This is starting to nickel and dime us, I think. I knew it was coming. But these sorts of things going forward, they need to be one-shot deal. Here's the quote at the end of it. Here's your key, as it were, and it's done. To come back, I just feel that this should have been known by anybody who's doing a contract basis on it. I would think. That's just, am I wrong? I'm asking.
I think they should have had a better idea. Cause there would have been a requirement for the size of that generator. For the size and pressure of the gas coming to it.
It should have been looked at and quoted on as such. You don't build a house and then at the end they come and say, oh, we forgot to put the shingles in.
I'll just say on one half too, and this is for everybody, not just us, but
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
When we make a decision, we can't have it lag on, that's what happens. And contractors, there's lots of times I'm not saying us, I'm saying just in general,
Yeah.
between the town and the RM or whatever we do, where we kind of hang back and we come up with a plan or a decision, we do one little thing and another little thing, and they keep giving us quotes and estimates and they don't hear anything for a while, things change, things get, when we make a decision on something, like whether it's, I know it's hard with sometimes our partners, but and the partners with us, right? Cause it's gotta go to joint them back to us and whatever, it's politics, right? But I think when it's something that's infrastructure, whatever, it's gotta get passed, gotta get one thing and then done, over with, gavel slammed and on with.
Yeah.
Because we drag it out and then we have conversations, then we come back and then it's, okay, well, what about this? I think what we do is an RFP or whatever together, goes out, comes back, whatever comes back, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's already approved before it's gone through, right? I'm getting that. So these things don't get missed, cause over months and months and months.
Yeah.
The contract will send this guy there, but then that guy might quit, so he sends the other guy there or whoever else, right? When we do something, I think it should be just something as simple as an emergency generator. It's talked about, we plan it, we budget it, goes out for that much. If it doesn't come back for that much, then we make a decision. We just bang, get it done with.
Well, the thing that concerns me on that quote is 2 regulators on here. One was a high pressure one, I believe, and it was $100 and some. Then there was a low pressure one, lower pressure, I think was over $1,000. So I'm not sure if they're piping gas, high pressure gas around the end of the building to this thing, or whether they're using the existing line inside the building. Like, I don't know, I don't think we're done with this yet.
Supply is right beside it. gas meters right there,
beside there.
beside where the generator is gonna go. I think. There's a gas line right there.
Where the pad's already beside the dumpsters, yeah.
When did they put that in?
What's there, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm sure
The
that,
meter's way over on the
I
other side.
think there might be two on that building. But I can't remember for sure, I'd have to
We'll
go.
double check, but
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know what else they will be to do to add more cost, but
well, it's
Well,
one
we'll have to
time,
put a fence around it. That wasn't in with the original quote, was it?
no,
We're
there's,
gonna have to protect that thing.
Yeah.
And actually, we're gonna have to decide who's looking after it. So is it the town? Is it the joint employees? Is it like, who is it?
I'd say it falls under the building as a joint.
Yeah.
Just like, the backup generator for the fire hydrants, right?
so theoretically, the manager, not the manager, but the working foreman.
yeah, whoever's in charge of the buildings.
Yeah.
Will be looking after.
Should be the working foreman then.
Good.
Okay,
Nothing else on that?
no,
Call the question, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Reports. We have Ethan up.
So there's quite a bit happening right now. We've got a bunch of Valentine's Day themed spirit days this week. We were planning on having a dance, but it got moved to March, just due to everything that's happening in February. We have several band festivals from 9 to 12, coming up at the end of February, in both Brandon and Winnipeg. We had several students, 15 students from 7 to 12, went into the honor band for this year. That was February 9 to 10. The online school clothing store is open back up until February 27th for those who didn't buy clothing for the first time. High school report cards went out after exams finished. Some kids will be happy, while others less so.
That would have been me, that would have been my, for the last, so.
Yeah, they're starting to take a look at registering the grade 12 calculus course as a AP course to count towards the university credit. As of right now, it doesn't count, but they're looking towards that. For sports, we have a JV boys basketball tournament coming up. Basketball is still going strong. We have a ski trip coming up for the high school, 9 to 12, that's on February 26th, and the 7s and 8s have a ski trip later in March. The 5s and 6s will be going tubing in McGregor, on February 23rd. And the 5s and 6s also had a curling bonspiel this, last week on February 9th.
Good. That's it.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Any questions on that, anybody?
sounds like you guys are busy.
Yep,
These band concerts, are they open to the public or just?
I think so. I don't have much knowledge on them because this hasn't happened in a long time because of COVID. Last year it was Edmonton, the Edmonton trip.
Oh,
This
wow.
year I believe we're just going to places across Brandon, Winnipeg. I'm assuming they're open to public, I'm not sure.
No, this question.
Well, that last band concert they had here at the school was very impressive. I was quite amazed at how
Yeah.
good they were.
Okay, good, Ethan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We have the CAO report.
I didn't get one sent out to you, but it's been a lot of healthcare, budgets. And just regular stuff otherwise, but healthcare is a big focus and priority right now.
Okay. Public Works report.
Here,
Everybody seen that?
Yeah.
Economic Development Report, Kara sent that out, we've all seen that, I'm assuming. Okay. Committee reports, Protective Services. Anything on that? Fire, police, I think we have the police report. I was gonna ask that police report at the beginning, it said Souris. Was that on Souris? It seemed a little high in the numbers for Carberry, but was that for the whole region?
I think it was just, the first page typo, the crime reporting was all for us.
Was it?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Nothing more on protective services, public works.
Well, the guys were scraping down the streets pretty good when it was warm. I see they've got, well, at least one wayfinding sign put up. They're putting siding on that shed with a lift station.
Yeah, I seen that. That looks good.
What else? I think that's all I had.
I was asked a question, and I'll ask you a question as a former public works supervisor. When they scrape the streets when they're slushy like that, does that affect the service? Somebody thought it did, and when you go by Ray Johnson's on First Street, you seen that piece that's kind of, they wondered if that's what happens if you scrape it too much. But it shouldn't hurt.
Well, that's highways.
That's
Yeah,
highways, and
But if you're not careful with some places that you can do some damage,
You got a
but
pothole or something.
and if you're. Like the ice blades that we have and that they use sometimes, if you're not careful, you can that's where you see some of those lines in the intersections where they're trying to clean up.
Yeah.
But if you're doing things properly, you're,
Okay.
and wear the
then,
blades down.
yeah, and then this, the stuff on First Avenue, when they do those overlays.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't bind in some spots, so when they get that water underneath, pushes up and the snow block comes by, and that's where you see those big chunks.
Yeah.
Take it out, usually when they do that overlay over top.
Okay. Buildings, anything on buildings?
we're getting a requote on the tin and stuff for the CP Park building. There was a heat tape, I think, supposed to have been put on the library on the north side. We're looking at the ramps and that exit door. Hopefully we can get it done this year.
Yeah.
The generator at the hall, my thought on it is they should be able to do all this transfer switch stuff inside right now while they're waiting for this regulator. You know, it's kind of a slow time for them. Why aren't they doing this work?
I don't know how busy they are. I don't know whether they're just gonna come and do it all at once or what the plan is.
I know.
The other thing on buildings I've got too is FYI, I think we all knew this, but the waste building has been done and awarded and waiting for spring.
I guess the only thing for me for buildings is maybe we just keep. Looking at in the future, maybe some with the drop-in, sprucing up the drop-in.
Yeah.
Maybe putting money aside for that, because if we're trying to do Main Street and all these other things, maybe so it doesn't look like a bunker. Anymore, maybe we make it look more inviting. Cause right now it's just, it says the drop-in center, but it's just. Right? So, again, I'll just keep, you guys know I brought that up before, but
Yeah,
we'll just
that's
keep,
a good point.
keep hammering that.
We're still working on the air conditioning. The last quote for air conditioning was $30,000, right?
Something like that.
So, yeah, no.
Those air conditioning
It's just,
heating.
sometimes just a
Yeah.
little lipstick, right?
Yeah,
So,
that thing was built back in the early seventies probably, so.
but something to put on
No.
the agenda for over the coming years, right?
Early
Yeah.
80s, I think.
I would say
It
70.
looks like it.
It was built after we come.
Well, we won't argue about it, Bill.
Those 4 square years.
Waste management, anything on waste management? We talked a bit
Well,
about
the
that.
building has been, contract's been let.
Yeah.
We are probably going to have to get our partners to, build up a pad for the new building, though. They got the equipment.
Yeah.
So, that's just a comment.
Okay, archives, haven't had an archives meeting for a long time now, so.
The only other thing was in the budget, the wages.
Yeah,
Which is
wages, yeah,
way,
which is
way
an
behind,
increase,
so.
Arts Council,
Busy, they got a speaker coming in, they got all kinds of after school stuff, they got busy. Apparently they want a meeting and I don't know what that's about, cause nobody told me about it, but they want a meeting with the town and the RM to discuss stuff, but. Yeah, so,
be aware of that, eh?
Yeah.
Cemetery,
The budget's been done. The windmill is still at Gabler's apparently.
yeah,
I haven't heard any different. And there's quite a few well, plots being sold, plots, I guess,
People are dying to get in.
literally. And that's about it there.
Okay. Museum? Anything on museum?
They had a budget meeting. I don't know, last month. I was busy, didn't make it, so they've done a budget. Arts Council's done a budget too, so they're not good with that.
Museum though too, they also had that thing with the well or something, right?
Mm,
Frozen well,
Oh, okay.
right? And then, again, I'm gonna keep saying it, cause I told them I'd keep saying it about looking in the summertime, about where they're gonna build that, I'm gonna call it, it's on the tip of my tongue. Structure, for that, the fire engine and those other things they were
Yeah,
looking at.
that's pretty much 3 camps and they're fighting with each other, so it might take a little bit to get.
Right, but they were asking about those trees, right? Either we remove one and clean the other ones up or something. It is an old building, we do wanna be careful, so
Yeah.
we'll look into that later in the future, but I did promise them that I'd keep bringing it up, so.
Last I heard, they were looking at the east side to put that new building up.
Well, those are
Some
it.
of them are, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them,
Some of them are looking at the west side, some are looking at the back.
okay,
So, yes.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
They're saying, I think they had a meeting in March and they're saying we're gonna come together and decide where the frick we're gonna put this, cause it's done enough already.
They'll, either way, if they're not putting on that side, at least have them trimmed up or something, so they're not
Yeah.
encroaching on the building.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna have to pay for a broken old building, so, yeah, again,
Yeah.
might as well,
They're all
Keep it on the-
unanimous on the trees.
yeah, okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Candy Van Seniors.
I attended one meeting so far since I've been back on that board. They got the money coming for the van. We have had one offer already on the old one, but of course we're not selling it yet. There was a bunch of work done to the lift to get it up to snuff again. And that's about all, I think. Debbie's away on vacation right now in Hawaii, no less.
Undeserved. There's a
Well-
lot of hard.
I know, she works hard.
Okay, library.
I attended one meeting by Zoom so far. It was a Zoom meeting. And the executive was selected, the budget. I think the budget was set and some of the projects for this year were outlined. And there is a meeting a week from tomorrow in Brandon, which I will be going to. That's all I can tell you.
Good. Health action, I think we covered health action. I don't think
Pretty
there's
much.
anything more, so. Planning. Like I said, we were having our planning meeting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday here. Like I said before, we've got a new chair and a co-chair. Ed Bedford from Glenboro area is the new chair. Not much to report, just doing the same on planning as we've been doing with the town, just addressing wages and that sort of stuff, so we've had a couple of requests for,
There was a budget last time too.
yeah, went through the budget, but nothing really to report from that new. Rec board,
The meeting came up with the budget. I think we passed the budget, but there's a lot of discussion on that. Oh, why is it this way? Why is it that way? Lots of questions that had to be answered, lots of emails fired back and forth. So I think we're in a better place. We all agree we need more members on the board. A couple of more retirements, so we're down to 4 or 5 people on the board, where it used to be 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
So they're looking at expanding the board,
yeah,
so.
and having the meetings in a different venue, I hope,
Yeah, having them down here or somewhere,
yeah,
without kids running in curves,
Uh,
of Coughlin and
yeah,
with their water.
yeah, yeah.
Is Laverne still coming back?
No, he's resigned.
We just had a resignation last week too,
Yeah.
a member that she was on there for 7 years, she
Yeah.
resigned, and so they're looking for other members. We talked about adding on, but I don't think you wanna get too many members around trying to come to one decision with 10 or 15 members.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
It's hard
just
enough.
trying to organize a meeting for 10 people, never mind
Yeah.
20 or 25, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
six to eight would be more than enough then.
And there was discussion, at one time we had a member from every organization, minor hockey and figure skating, and we had a member from all that, and that was why it was about 30 people, so. Whether we put somebody on there or not, I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
Hmm.
I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
It's not my baby, there were.
Okay. So we have a resolution number 48-24, be it resolved that all reports be received by council as provided or presented, moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Communications, we had the quarterly report that we talked about from Blue Hills RCMP. Any questions on that? We all should have read it. MTI response with number 1 and 5 petition. That's basically a done deal with the fact that they addressed it and had,
Checks in the week.
yeah. One thing out, well, I'll bring it up around the table. Western Directors Update, AMM, we had the AMM Western District people come here. We had a nice meeting around the table. Western District Director, she sent an update, I'm sure we've all read it. Any questions on that? I think so. AMM Insurance Update, virtual meeting. We've talked about insurance premiums and maybe addressing that at our budget, so I don't know how that ties in with this, if we still.
Yeah, this meeting, they just will kind of discuss what the return of premiums was for last year and what the percentage increase will be for this year.
Yeah.
So if I can pass that on, you guys don't have to attend with the invitations there if you want to attend.
Okay. Homecoming 2024, we already discussed that. RLM, Carberry, a City of Destiny, we had the proposal and the delegation came today. Or tonight, rather. MSHFM support request. That was, what was that?
That was for the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Harvey Joseph is being inducted.
Okay,
So they asked if we wanted to support in any way.
It's ads, whatever.
what's everybody think? I'll lay it out to council, your choice.
Yeah, tickets, then maybe, when is it again? Sorry, I don't wanna.
Can't remember. We can look at the details.
Sure, yeah, maybe we can, if it's tickets, then maybe we can, give it to minor ball or something, and they can send a couple kids, or something,
So,
Parents or
yeah.
whatever.
what are you saying, 2 tickets, or
Yeah, I would say a couple of tickets.
do we need a resolution for that, or is that basically?
We can do a resolution for the next one, once we get figured out costs and everything, because I don't have that.
Alright.
225 tickets.
Westman Regional Library levy letter. That's just to tell us how much we owe, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So we have resolution number 49-24, be it resolved that all correspondence be received by council, moved by,
Bill.
seconded by.
Yep.
Fairly straightforward, all those in favor, opposed, that is carried. We have nothing, I'm assuming, added to the agenda. So it's around the table time. Guess I'll go first, but look it up. I had a couple things. Main Street reimbursement for paving, are we still looking into that? Because I see with MTI sending in their letter in regards to the intersection. Is that still on the table for?
Yeah, I think, I haven't heard anything since you guys met with Minister Naylor.
Okay,
So it's probably time for a follow-up.
if you could, please, I'd like to keep going on that. 175,000, it's a lot of money to leave on the table, so. There's that. And I think that was it. I had and I was gonna put this on the Carberry Facebook, just as on a lighter note. I had the grade 2 class from Surrey Christian School in Surrey, BC, send me a request they're trying to figure out, they're going across Canada, province by province, and I don't know how they got my name, but they sent me a request, and I was to go around, and they call it Flat Stanley. Has anybody ever heard of that? Flat Stanley is a colored piece of paper, flat, because the grade twos wrote that the bulletin board fell on this. Anyways, it's a piece of paper. I went around and took pictures of different landmarks in Carberry with flat Stanley. And I sent it back with these pictures and I got replies from them, from the teachers, and they were happy to do it. And when they complete the cross Canada thing, they're gonna take a picture of their class and send it to Carberry. So I thought it might be kind of neat just as on a lighter note, to put that on our Facebook page, just to show the people the town, stuff like that. So when I get a reply from them, I will put all the pictures and the letters. There was a nice 2.5 page letter printed by the grade twos. I'm telling you, they were good printers, whoever did it. So it was kind of cute anyway. So I just thought I'd say that. So sometime if you see Flat Stanley and that on our Facebook page, you'll know about it.
Can we send, can we make, Platt Stanley, honorary citizen, town Carberry, and send them the.
If I could, I sent them back, they sent a self-addressed envelope and I sent them back a couple of mementos I got from Kara's office, just some postcards and a couple of brochures and I don't know what else I put in there, just,
Don't we have that, like the honorary citizen or something like that? Remember the
The keep
sports
of,
gala or
keep of
something?
the city.
yeah.
Remember the sports gala or something? Remember
Yeah,
that? And
something like that, but
so then we had to, didn't we make something for that, like? Maybe we can make Platt Stanley for the class.
maybe we could get it just printed up, just as a kind of a little,
That's kind of what I'm getting at, yeah,
Certificate.
we'll
for
get
the
it-
kids.
Yeah,
And then you can hold it.
laminated and then,
Send it as a picture and then.
That's not a
send the
bad
picture with
idea.
them.
okay, I'll do that. And the only other thing I've got is, elections coming up next month. To all who are running, good luck, and we will welcome someone around the table. That's all I got. Deputy Mayor Kalanowicz.
Did you have something about all the doctors and stuff?
Oh, doctors, geez, good call, John. Update on the doctors. Dr. Ahmed is coming at the end of February. I got a email from Lori Pakulak. She's the recruiter for Prairie Mountain Health today. I hadn't heard from her for a long time. She requested I give her a call, so I gave her a call today. Dr. Ahmed is coming here from the UK on the 28th of February. He's going to tour around the Brannan area and the Wheat City Clinic on the 29th. And we tentatively want to get something booked for him to come out here on March 1st. So we'll probably make a kind of a day of it touring around like we did before, wanting to do the schools, of course, the clinic, the hospital, the area. I am going to assume, I sent him a WhatsApp, I'm on WhatsApp with him. I sent him a WhatsApp to see when would be good for him. So tentatively, we're looking at March 1st, but it's up to him. He doesn't leave to go back till March 3rd. So Lori sent me his plane itinerary and that. So if he replies and March 1st is good, I'll see if, we'll take him out for supper somewhere. And go from there, roll out the red carpet, so to speak. Dr. Tennessee called me again, sent an email, everything that he sent or anything I get, I forward it to Grady and Kara, and Grady forwards it to the RM, North Cypress Langford. He's still on the hook. We met with, I don't know if, was it Prairie Mountain Health? Did we meet with them after the last council meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting with Prairie Mountain Health in the basement of the clinic. Brian Schoenbart and his entourage came out and we were kind of shaking our heads, crossing our fingers. I hope it wasn't gonna be bad news, but they told us they're behind us 100%. They said all is not lost with Dr. Tennessee, stay tuned, but then as per normal, never heard nothing back.
No.
So I've talked to Sion Smith. He's the right-hand man with Wab Canoe. He's been put on as our liaison to the government. And Grady's talked to him. I've talked to him. Everything I get from Prairie Mountain Health or the doctors, I forward to him as well. He's looking into what can be done with Dr. Tennessee. There seems to be some stumbling blocks along the way, and I think they could be achievable if there were 4 entities that would get their heads together and achieve them. Prairie Mountain Health, College of Physician Surgeons, University of Manitoba, Province of Manitoba. They just need to get their heads wrapped around this and they can make this work. I think I sent you a copy of a write-up in the Brandon Sun on Saturday where they're looking at the possibility of reducing some of these roadblocks possibly for doctors. So maybe there's something there, but this Dr. Tennessee, he's still bound and determined he wants to come to Carberry, so there's that. There is word of the possible doctor from Alberta coming out and having a look at the area. She's expressed concern, so we're gonna try and get her to come to Carberry and have a look around. We definitely want 2, hopefully 3 doctors, but 2 anyway. So that's where that's at. We're still working at it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I'm missing, is there, Grady?
No, that's it, right?
Renovation of the clinic is tied into that, or?
We hope so. We've been bringing up with Prairie Mountain Health about the state of the clinic, the state of the hospital, the courtyard needs to be done. The bringing up the speed of the equipment. I mean, you don't want to get a doctor to come all the way from the UK and then come and have, and I don't want to say substandard equipment, but equipment that should be brought up to date. We're having issues with our EMS. We're having issues with our, we call it, techs. X-ray
They can't
techs.
even order them a desk.
Yeah,
Remember that? They
Yeah.
can't even order them a
yeah,
desk.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't get too negative. I'm trying to remain positive, but my God, we've been just spinning ourselves in circles for the last year and 4 months, and we need to get something going here. So we've got doctors, like I said last time and all along, we've got a doctor basically in the palm of our hands. And we just, there's all these little stumbling blocks, so we're working on it. Hopefully the Sion seems to be good to talk to. He's talked with Grady, like I say, and
How do you spell
Seeon Smith, Smith. So we've got his ear anyway. Sion said he's gonna do whatever he can, and he's got the premier's ear, and Carberry is on the premier's radar to get a doctor or doctors, so that's his main mandate, and Sion says that's what he's been working on, so that's where we're at with that. So moving on, Deputy Mayor Kalanoich.
Well, I'm glad to see our streets scraped down. I know it's been a kind of a tough time getting salt on everything, but I know the guys are out working on it. It's nice to hear positive comments about some of the things that council has been able to accomplish so far. And I kind of chuckled at this one, the tub room at the hospital is saving Prairie Mountains behind because it's in use now because the one in the care home is broken. Till they get it fixed, which should be shortly, but if that had broke down and there wasn't another one, they would have been up the creek again. So I'm very glad that our committee was able to get that done.
Good.
That's all I have.
Councilor Anderson.
Not a lot. I will just say this surgery is awesome. I feel better than I have ever felt. In fact, 2 hours after the operation, I was out of the hospital bed in my clothes and drove home, both of which I wasn't supposed to do, but I did. And it's not 100% yet, but I can tell you, it's kind of awesome just to sit here and hear everything you guys have to say without having to twist my head or asking for a repeat. That is awesome. It's also awesome to bend over and pick something up off the floor and then not stand up and fall on your face. That's kind of nice. No more dizziness.
Yeah.
So I'm open. The scar's still a little sore, but will be forever, I'm told, so.
Good.
Just for an update, that's where I'm at, so.
That it? Councilor Sudak.
Not too much, because again, like, we said with the election.
Mhm.
For all the candidates, and then, just one thing, maybe because of, like, I'm there, picking up the kid and dropping him off, but. I know it's hard this time of year when it's supposed to be frozen out, Grady, and it's not, but maybe if they can. Spread some of that beet sand or something, where we have the drop off there. Cause I know when it did melt, it's that time of the year, it's just what it is, so maybe we can just alleviate maybe someone falling with a young child or something in their hands, it's just in that one spot when it does kind of melt away.
Is it the,
Just at the bus loop where the drain is, It just, cause they're not, I know, I understand, I've told people like to go there with the steamer and clean out, it's still gonna be frozen on the other side, so
Yeah.
maybe if, you know. You know what I'm getting at, so,
Yeah.
that's, other than that, that's, no, they've been doing a good job on the streets and stuff, so. So, yeah.
Good. Youth Councilor Downey. You got anything?
So when I first started. The resolution that brought me in here, was it only for 2 years? Or how does that work?
I would have to look back. I can't remember if we did it for 2 or 3.
I
Okay,
don't think we did that the first time, it was just a resolution that we would have to get confident.
No, Matthews was for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then we did one for Ethan too. I just don't remember. I wanna say we did it for 3 because of what grade you were in, but I'd have to look.
You started the last year of the last term, didn't you?
yeah, I was September 2022.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
probably a good question. We should probably look at that and get that.
Yeah, if we need a new resolution, we can always pass it.
Or if there's another one, we're gonna have an election.
What grade are you in now?
11.
Okay.
So would you be interested in carrying on till the end of grade 12? That's the question, I guess.
I would like to, but I don't know if my course load will permit it.
Okay,
Because I plan on taking a lot of classes and a lot of them have a lot of stuff, so with homework and other stuff. I hope I can continue doing this, but I'm not sure if I will be able to
Well, make
continue.
sure your priorities. That's-
yeah,
And if the things are getting busy for you, Ethan, just come tell us, it's not a big deal.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
That's all you got?
Yep.
Anything, Grady?
I do have 2 quick things,
Yep.
that came in, late. So, Curl Carberry is looking at that large event that they were gonna host during COVID. I don't know if you guys remember, it was gonna be, junior provincials 1 week, and then the following week, the senior provincials would run in the daytime while their Bonspiel, the McCain Classic goes on in the evenings. So they were just looking for a letter of support from council saying that we're behind the idea and we'd love to have it here, so.
Sure.
I think that's given, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
I'll draft that. It'll be 2026, I believe is what they said, so it'll be February 2026. So a full 2 years from now.
let's get that hotel in here.
Yeah.
The other thing, Guild is gonna be doing some work on their front ramp step area. They're having issues, people getting over the threshold at the door. So to do that, they'd have to do a little bit of work. Or would be onto our sidewalk, so they're just asking if we would support that portion. It's just over $1,300, so. It'll just become out of our sidewalk budget.
Helps access, so,
Yeah, and it's kind of needs done anyway, that right up against their step and ramp there, so.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just a question of that, if they do that and it's for the, accessibility, is that, if we do get that event, can we tap into that for that one, or maybe more around town for that, or no? Or if it comes up again
Yeah,
for accessibility?
most of that stuff's 50 cent dollars, right? So.
Is it okay?
We'll have to consider that when we
Okay.
use the grant money, right?
Sounds,
So like, it's $1,300, not a big bill anyway.
no, I mean, like, for if it comes up in the future for other businesses like that, for our sidewalks, right, like that.
Yeah.
community?
Yeah.
Okay.
That it? You doing anything, John?
Yeah.
What? What?
We've been talking budgets.
Yeah.
All the school divisions in Manitoba have been held to 2% limit on increases in their mill rates for 7 years. And they've taken the leash off us.
Oh,
So, I think we are looking, this is also coupled with how much they're actually giving us, and we're not doing too badly. They are taking into account that we are fast growing and we're, we gain 200 pupils in a year. So we will probably be going to around 3% increase in the mill rate. That's, we're still just talking about it, but that's where it's closing in on.
Okay.
So if, you know, it was 2 all the way along, it'll go to 3, it'll probably take our actual rate to around 10.5. As we have been looking at it, it's not, we haven't passed the final yet, but this is what the talk is, and I think you'll find if you look around the province that we're very polite.
Okay.
There are gonna be people wanting 7 and 8%.
Good.
So, you know, we continue to be extremely well run.
Perfect. Duly noted. That's it. That's all you got?
I think that, oh, there was one more, I think just, as you were talking about the signs for 988, one place to put this ahead of the street. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Before I go to this next one, I was gonna say as a last minute thing too, I'm sure we all read the report from Serious Bylaw. Just making sure we all did. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay. All right.
They've, sorry, just one
Yeah.
thing on that too, I got an email from them today, they're gonna be implementing a reporting system. It's similar to what we had with our previous provider, but it automatically, as soon as they create a report, it sends me an email saying that they've done this, and then all the documentation goes along with it, so that's gonna improve the back and
Communication.
forth between us and.
So I was just gonna ask in regards to that, some of these ones on here are beginning to be repeat offenders.
Yeah.
Do they have to go through the whole motions to start over, or can they have fines attached right?
Some of them will have fines attached straight away.
Okay.
They've had their warning times already and.
Okay, cause I feel sometimes you wonder if people are playing a game with it. Go so far and then start over and you gotta go through the whole process again, but if they can fine right away. Gotta send that message.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. Nobody else?
No.
Okay, I'll read this next resolution. Resolution number 50-24, be it resolved that council move in camera under section 1523B2 of the Municipal Act to discuss personnel matters. Moved by,
Like,
seconded by,
No.
all in favor, opposed, carried.